Teletubbies CD-ROM, and there's a look behind the scenes of the computer-animated feature, Antz.
Stop right there and stay where you are, because it's Cybernet with me, Lucy Longhurst. Get ready to go la-la with the Teletubbies, fight with the hardest, race with the best, and meet the Antz. It's unstoppable. It's Cybernet. Mega Man, the 16-bit favourite, is back on your screen after a 3D overhaul. But the question is, will it appeal to those of us who've never heard of the little blue chap? And can it compete with already well-established action-adventure games, such as the extremely successful Final Fantasy VII? After crash landing on the island of Ketelox, you need to explore your surroundings looking for parts to fix your vessel.
This looks pretty bad.
There are more than enough people and cute characters to talk to. However, finding out what you need to know can become a little tiresome at times. But if you get bored with the locals, you can always go shopping at the mall. As an action-adventure game, Mega Man sadly fails to live up to expectations, mainly because there's too little action and not enough adventure. What it lacks is any sense of atmosphere, and although there are plenty of different buildings to wander around, they all look pretty much the same, as do the landscapes. The graphics look dated, and with so many more appealing adventure games on the market, Mega Man is going to be hard-pushed just to keep up. If cute isn't your thing and you'd like something with a bit more clout, it's time to enter the realms of legend.
Let the legend begin.
Set in the dark side of the Middle Ages, your quest is to bash as many of your enemies as you can. You'll find loads of items conveniently lying about to help you on your way, including spells, food, and what every enterprising warrior needs, a vast variety of weapons. But be warned, Legend is a very violent game and not to everyone's taste. You can choose to play as one of 3 characters, but apart from looking different, they all play very much alike. The enemies, however, become more detailed and harder to beat as you progress. Although Legend is nothing new for the PlayStation and the controls are very simple, it is extremely playable. And however tough the baddies seem, they're definitely not unbeatable. Two-player mode is the saving feature of the game. Together, you and a friend can battle against the odds and even test out your skills on the shooting range. With the addition of motion capture, the game looks great. The only question that remains is, will it keep you spellbound? Yes, it's time to play with the world's cutest aliens who've captured the imaginations of adults and children alike. They've beaten the Spice Girls in the pop charts, sent parents on the warpath in search of the cuddly toys, and now they say, "Eh-oh," on CD-ROM. These characters are part of a playful package for your PC called Play with the Teletubbies, which gives you a chance to explore the hills of Teletubbyland and interact with all your favourite characters from the show.
La la!
And once they've introduced themselves, you'll feel like old friends in no time, playing hide-and-seek with Lala and Dipsy, or chasing Nunu around the Superdome.
The Teletubbies love the Nunu very much.
Better still, make a mess with custard without getting your hands dirty, or bang your Teletubbies magic drum. And if all that play leaves you hungry, you can help your favourite Teletubby make toast. But be sure to eat it before Nunu gets there. Getting around the Teletubbies CD-ROM is effortless, with play aimed at first-timers on the PC. The mouse is all you need to manoeuvre, and there's loads of things to interact with, from dogs to puddles.
What's that?
It was a puddle.
As well as all the activities, you can experience special events and video sequences on the Teletubbies tummy screens.
This is the button you have to press.
Play with the Teletubbies is an inventive package carefully created to teach young children about the world around them in a way that's fun and enjoyable. So when you reach the end, you can do it all again, because it'll be hard to say goodbye. If you've always dreamed of driving a Ferrari at ridiculously high speeds, then you're in for a treat that's much cheaper and safer than the real thing. Up until now, the Need for Speed series of games has never really reached its full potential, with slow graphics and substandard gameplay. Now though, with its third outing, things are different. The graphics are simply superb. Super realistic racers shoot around a super realistic circuit. Handling is tricky, just like the real thing, and the wide choice of supercars will leave no one disappointed. With what seems like hundreds of racing games currently on the market, it's difficult for a game to stand out from the crowd. Need for Speed 3 achieves this courtesy of its Hot Pursuit mode. Here you'll be pursued by law enforcement officers who'd like to have a quiet word with you about your driving. A new version of a game is not always a better version, but Need for Speed 3 definitely is. Are you tired of driving on boring old roads? Do you crave more than smooth tarmac and a nice shiny car? If so, then take the next left into that field and prepare yourself for an off-road adventure. Test Drive 4x4 is the latest game based on the original series, but now things get tougher as you can leave the road and kick up some dirt on the PlayStation. What promises to be a thrilling game quickly disappoints as the cumbersome off-roaders smash and crash their way around poorly designed circuits. While Off-Road 4x4 is an opportunity to get stuck in the mud and crunch metal mindlessly, most players will definitely want more. There's very little subtlety to this game. Beating the stop clock is just a case of pushing the accelerator and keeping it there, while your fellow racers are less than competitive. This game would benefit from a two-player option and a wider choice of courses. One saving grace, however, is that there are plenty of 4x4s to choose from. There's no shortage of quality racing titles on the PlayStation, and if a game is aiming to compete with the likes of the aging but far superior hardcore 4x4, then it's got to do better than this. Poor graphics and less than satisfactory gameplay mean that Off-Road 4x4 is easily knocked over by the competition. Just who do you think you are getting bored with Spice World on the PlayStation? If you've done all you can with Posh Spice's moves, or you just want to glimpse Ginger again, then grab a pen and listen up as we've some cool codes just for you. First up, if you're sick of straining your eyes trying to see your girl dancing, go to the globe menu and hold down the start button. Then press circle, square, circle and square.
Nice one, mate.
And you'll see that once the code appears on the screen, you'll enlarge into a giant Spice Girl. And who says that big isn't beautiful?
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friend.
If you think that size doesn't matter and instead you'd like to recreate a scene from a Spice Girls video, go to the globe menu, hold down start and press circle, triangle, triangle and circle. Once the code appears on the screen, you need to hold down L1, L2, R1, R2, select and start in order to reset the game. And what can I say apart from grab those chairs, girls? And finally, if you've got the girls' stage act prepared but you're worried about them losing their belongings, at the globe menu, hold down start and press square, triangle, circle and triangle. Then make your way to the television studio where you can watch the girls strut their stuff. And this time you don't have to worry about any lost valuables because they're dancing around their handbags. And you think we're not kind to you.
I'm giving you everything.
While the Madden American Football Series has enjoyed success on most formats over the years, this latest installment for the PC shows that Madden NFL 99 is arguably the best gridiron conversion you're likely to play. The game has the official license, so you'll be able to take control of any of the teams from the two main divisions, as well as some all-star lineups from past Super Bowls. So far so good, but what really separates NFL 99 from past Madden titles is the quality and detail of the graphics. The player's animation and appearance is incredibly realistic. Some nice touches include the player's visible breath in cold conditions and the interaction of the many umpires within the game.
First down.
It also has an array of different angles from which to play, and none is more thrilling than the first-person helmet camera that takes you to the heart of the action. Madden NFL 99 is not only the best Madden title yet, but uses the PC's full potential to create an exciting and visually impressive game.
Touchdown, Bear.
Michael Owen captured the attention of millions when he scored a wonder goal for England in the 1998 World Cup. And now the young striker has confirmed his growing popularity with his own football game. Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99 is based on World League Soccer 98, and initially there's little difference between the two. The players all move smoothly around the pitch, courtesy of the motion capture, which recreates his movements, especially for this version. To be honest, the game isn't a vast improvement on the 98 version. The graphics aren't bad, but they still don't have the polished presentation of any of the FIFA games, and the improved artificial intelligence isn't always noticeable. It does have the advantage of the player being able to choose from a variety of teams across the world, but even this feature isn't particularly new. Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99 is a decent enough game, and for fans of the boy wonder, it will have added appeal. However, for those that already own Soccer 98, this is a game that may seem all too familiar. Okay, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is an N64 together with a copy of Body Harvest to play on it. So pick up your weapons and get ready to blast everything in sight as insects prepare to take over the world. To win this prize, just call our number and give your answer to this question. How many Teletubbies are there? A, 8, B, 15, or C, 4? If you think you know, call 0660 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck. Coming up, we control a new population, have a fight or two, and go behind the scenes to meet Z.
Drinking plenty of water, eating fruit, and keeping out of the sun does wonders for your skin. But is there anything else you can do? Well, to give your skin all it needs most, Ulay have developed a new type of skincare. Their proven moisturiser and an advanced UV protection system with a vitamin-mineral complex in one complete product, so your skin can look its best while you get on with the important things in life. And the name? Complete Care from Oil of Ulay. We can prove it's what you need most to look younger.
Everything about the new Volvo S80 is designed to turn heads. Apart from the seats, which, in the event of a rear impact, are designed to help save necks. The Whip's Whiplash Protection System inbuilt into every Volvo S80. The world's most exhilarating, safe choice.
Welcome back to part 2 of Cybernet. The original Populous was one of the most influential games in computer history. Together with SimCity, it established a whole new genre and quickly led to a host of clones, which have in themselves become classics, including, amongst many others, Civilization and Age of Empires. And now, after a few years of intensive development, Populous, the beginning, has arrived, taking the real-time strategy genre to a whole new level. With a superb 3D engine, breathtaking graphics and effects, together with some of the most balanced, intuitive gameplay we've ever seen, it's lived up to and surpassed all our expectations. But with so many clones now on the market, the programmers knew that not only did they have to bring the series up to date, but they also had to give us game players something original. And to do this, they simply went back in time.
Populous at the Beginning is a prequel to the first two Populous games. So in the first two Populous games, you were a god. In Populous at the Beginning, you play the shaman, a mortal woman, and it's just the story of you progressing to become a god. So as you start, you're quite weak, and as you get further and further into the game, you get more and more spells, more and more special abilities, until right at the end of the game, you actually transcend and become a god.
But although you may not be immortal, being a shaman is certainly a lot of fun. Starting with only a few worshipping tribesmen, you'll soon be creating fearless warriors and devious spies. Then, to back up your growing population of followers, you'll gain knowledge of devastating spells which can be used to destroy and generally upset those opposing tribes. And no matter how you win or lose, those special effects will amaze you.
We have some alpha sprites which we use to depict like spells and things, some really great magical effects. On top of that, we have this fantastic terrain system whereby you can create volcanoes, earthquakes, you can build land bridges. It just looks fantastic, and I haven't seen any other game ever do this before. It's really unique.
Whilst those spells look great, it's the way they combine with the actual gameplay that makes such a difference. Instead of simply being flashy add-ons, they complement the intricate details created by the game's programmers.
It's fully 3D, 3D buildings, fully interactive in that you can blow up these buildings and you see them blow up, you see the pieces scatter around the landscape. You can blast the little people and they will blast around the 3D landscape, and if they fall on a steep hill, they will roll down the valleys of the hill. There's just no way 10 years ago you could have had that level of realism.
So there it is. It may have taken ages to complete, but Populous the Beginning was certainly worth the wait. Being worshipped has never been such fun. So just what does it take to be Cybernet's Game of the Week? If bouncing from one location to another and taking a ride on an elam are essential features, then Abe's Oddysee is a sure winner. A good story also helps, and this one couldn't be better. Abe is a worker at a meat factory who becomes a little too curious for his own good. When he discovers that his own people, the Midokan, are about to become meaty snacks, he sets off on a quest to save his race from the evil Moloch the Glutton. Intelligent and sometimes funny, Abe's Oddysee is a game of gigantic proportions. With 30 years 3D visual effects experience between them, co-founders of California-based Oddworld Inhabitants, Sherry McKenna and Lorne Lanning, surprised everyone when they came up with this highly sophisticated 2D platformer.
Most of the development community, not the game buyers, but the development community said 3D is what's going to make better gameplay. Well, they're wrong. You know, and game players today know that they're wrong because they've got 100 games on a shelf that aren't as good as many of the games they used to play in 2D. 3D is not that important right now. Eventually we'll go 3D, but right now what's important is making better gameplay.
An unbelievable number of pre-production drawings had to be produced for Abe's Oddysee, as the best way to make 2D visuals look realistic is to model and animate them in 3D first. Up to 70 designs might be submitted for just one element before a final model could be created for digitization. And we think the results were well worth the effort. Of course, what's going on behind the characters is just as important, and these backgrounds could easily be mistaken for paintings. They're works of art. Unlike many titles in its genre, Abe's Oddysee's fantastic image quality has been created for a very specific purpose. It's not just there to impress, but to enhance characterization and ultimately to make gameplay more immersive. Like its storyline, we think this game is about as epic as they come. That's why the small guy with the big plans is our Game of the Week. Now we take a look at the top 10 PC games from around the world. Leaping in at 10 is Lara Croft in Tomb Raider 2. The strategic Command & Conquer Red Alert flies high at 9. Firing at 8 and causing destruction is the epic Age of Empires. Calling the shots at 7 is Footy Game Premier Manager 98. Taking the high wire at 6 is the war-torn commandos behind enemy lines. Titanic Adventure Out of Time sinks to number 5. Going where no other game has gone is Klingon Honor Guard at 4. The oddly titled Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six is on target at 3. There's a bumpy ride around the bends for Colin McRae at 2. And top of the table at 1 is Premier League Manager 99. You've squashed them and stomped on them, and now they're the stars of a new computer-generated movie.
2 aphid beers.
Call me crazy, but I have a thing about drinking from the caboose of another creature.
DreamWorks Feature Animation and Pacific Data Images put their imaginations into overdrive to bring the unique world of Antz to life.
I was not content to be a worker.
We tried to imagine the world from the ants' perspective. We always said it's not about how small the ants are, it's about how big their world is.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh! See?
We did spend a lot of time with cameras down at ant level, looking up at the world, looking out at the world.
Guys gotta screw loose.
Lending their voices to the movie are some of Hollywood's biggest stars.
Let's take a walk on the wild side. It's the ultimate character acting. And all of these things are just metaphors for the things that we struggle with, where we feel like we're stuck in the gum on the bottom of someone's shoe.
Oh, brother. Suddenly I've lost my appetite.
It's amazing. I wish other films that I have done had this kind of production value. It's incredible. It's cast of zillions.
Z, the little guy made it!
Okay, all you ants, get over there. And all you ants, get over there.
Youch.
What on earth are you doing?
The story of Antz centers around Z, a common worker who longs to be different.
It's this whole gung-ho superorganism thing that I can't get.
Our ant is played by Woody Allen, and when you combine his neuroses with the concept, the sky's the limit.
My father was basically a drone, like I've said, and, the guy flew away when I was just a larva.
He falls in love with an ant princess. And his quest to get her love actually throws him into a series of adventures.
You have to help me. If I can't see her again, my life is just not worth living. Oh, boy.
Z has got a best friend named Weaver. And in Weaver, we see what it's like to be one of these big galoots whose job is to go to war at a moment's notice.
What happened to Z?
He's taking a personal day, so I'm filling in.
You fill in anymore and you'll explode.
General Mandible, he's got a grand and horrifying scheme for what he envisions as the perfect colony.
Let's go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
I am proud to send you into battle.
We slaughter termites just for fun, hurrah, hurrah.
To bring the computer-animated characters to life, PDI developed software that took CGI technology to new heights.
There have been some wonderful developments on Antz, in particular the facial animation system.
We actually have muscles that control all the face. Like if I do a little sneer, I'm contracting the muscle here.
The number of actual controls, both bones and muscles, was over 300. I think it just ups facial animation one more level and just provides a richness and a believability beyond anything I've seen so far.
Obviously, when you have a colony of ants, you expect to see hundreds, thousands, millions of ants.
We've basically taken 4 or 5 different techniques and been able to develop a system and an architecture for crowd systems that is probably the most sophisticated.
You the ant!
You're used to those kind of things happening in live action, but it gives a layer of reality to our film that is just terrific.
Hey, buddy, get back in place.
What if I don't like my place?
Buckle up, Spanky.
This is only the second fully computer-animated feature film ever to be produced, but with a new Disney movie called Bug's Life waiting to be released, it looks like this is one movie-making process that's going to be bugging film fans for a long time to come.
Hi.
the creepy crawlies take over, it's time to say goodbye. Don't forget you can always try our competition to win a console. Until next time, here's some more of good old Z. To brighten up your day, make sure you catch Cybernet.
Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Pardon us.
It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky.
Just when I was starting to like you.
Saturday, groove with the stars as the Bee Gees give an audience their hit songs and their story.
What are your memories of being the Bee Gees down under?
Living on the beach. Never in a house on the beach. Special guests, Boy's Own. Celine Dion.
Where did you get that distinctive vocal? Good swift kick in the right place.
The magic of the Bee Gees.
I've been singing all night.
An audience, Saturday 5 to 9 on ITV.
Looking ahead to this evening, there's medical drama as the paramedics face a mountain of bureaucracy. Picking up the pieces is tonight at 9 o'clock. Back to this morning now, and time for the latest news with Tim Wilcox at ITN.
Interest rates are expected to fall again today when the Bank of England Monetary Policy Committee announces its monthly ruling. Last month's cut of 0.25% was met with disappointment by manufacturers and unions. A woman swept 50 miles out to sea by Hurricane Mitch has been picked up by a Royal Navy helicopter after 6 days in the water. Isabella Ariola was found clinging to some wreckage. She's being treated for hypothermia in the sickbay in HMS Sheffield, but is otherwise reported to be well. The fugitive Saudi millionaire Osama bin Laden has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Manhattan in connection with August's bombings of US embassies in East Africa. The explosions killed more than 250 people, including 12 Americans, and injured more than 5,000 in Nairobi. The US State Department has offered a $5 million reward for the arrest of bin Laden, who faces the death penalty if convicted. A report out today from the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children says that youngsters in children's homes are still victims of serious physical and sexual abuse. The charity says it's receiving new allegations each month. Children claim they're being attacked, thrown against walls, raped or being the subject of pornographic pictures. That's it. I'll be back with the morning news at 5:30.
And after the morning news at 6 o'clock, we join the team at GMTV. But now on ITV, news on your favourite programmes with the night screen.